This week, the Trump administration halted visas for wounded Palestinians from Gaza, including children, from entering the United States to receive medical care because Laura Loomer, who's Jewish and a proud, outspoken Zionist, complained about it. The State Department announced on Saturday morning that it was halting all visitor visas to people coming in from Gaza, quote, to conduct a full and thorough review of the process and procedures, which were being used to issue a small number of visas to those seeking medical care because they'd been blown up by the Israeli military with weapons we gave them. The move came less than 17 hours after Laura Loomer, a far-right anti-Muslim commentator close to Donald Trump, who has said she's pro-white nationalism, complained online about Palestinians seeking medical care after being wounded by Israelis using our weapons. Quote, "How is allowing for Islamic immigrants to come into the United States an America First policy? The Jew-hating Gaza First idiots pretend to be America First, but they are America Last. Here it comes. They want the U.S. to be flooded with Muslims pretending to be refugees so they can cancel our votes. Replacement theory." She added, "I don't care if they are kids. The United States is full." Since last Friday, Loomer has gone on a posting spree, claiming without evidence that an Islamist in the State Department, quote, is supporting terrorism for fast-tracking visas for Islamists. After the State Department announced that they were halting visas to those fleeing violence in Gaza, Loomer was quick to thank Secretary Marco Rubio and take credit for his agency's decision, writing that she, quote, saved so many American citizens from being killed by pro-Hamas jihadis and little kids whose legs and arms have been blown off by weapons that we gave to the Israelis. I added that last part myself. The Palestinian people coming into the U.S. to seek medical care are fleeing a worsening situation in the Gaza Strip and the West Bank, one funded by American tax dollars and supported by the Trump administration. The president has repeatedly talked about taking over the Gaza Strip, potentially by force, and turning it into, quote, the Riviera of the Middle East. Quote, "I think the potential in the Gaza Strip is unbelievable. We have an opportunity to do something that could be phenomenal. We'll do a job with it. We will own it." In response, Marjorie Taylor Greene slams the United States rejecting wounded children from war-torn Gaza, saying, "When did America's heart grow so cold?" She's called for the United States to bring in children from Gaza in a lengthy post that also blasted the U.S. government for releasing a foreign child sex predator. We'll talk about that in a second. The Israeli government official who was arrested in a child sex sting operation in Las Vegas last week. The interim temporary U.S. attorney for that part of Nevada is an Israeli-born former IDF. Quoting Marjorie Taylor Greene, "Two recent decisions made by the State Department both involve children. We need to be the America that allows war-torn children to come here for life-saving surgeries, and the America that never releases a foreign child sex predator that our great law enforcement officers caught. But in this circumstance, those war-torn children are from Gaza, and this foreign child sex predator is from Israel and works directly for Benjamin Netanyahu." You know, it's like every now and then these days, Marjorie's getting it right. Greene's post was in response to a statement from the State Department's Bureau of Near Eastern Affairs regarding a man named Tom Alexandrovich, an Israeli citizen who was arrested in Las Vegas for soliciting sex electronically from a minor. The department denied that the federal government intervened in the matter. The State Department is aware that Tom Alexandrovich, an Israeli citizen, was arrested and given a court date for charges related to soliciting sex electronically from a minor. He did not claim diplomatic immunity and was released by a state judge pending a court date. Any claims that the U.S. government intervened are false, according to the State Department. Alexandrovich claimed in statements to police that he'd been working for the Israeli government for more than a decade. Marjorie Taylor Greene continued on. Would it be anti-Semitic to drag Netanyahu's cyber executive director back and prosecute this piece of shit to the full extent of the law, and at the same time let Palestinian kids who had their limbs and bodies blown apart to receive surgeries in America? Again, hard to disagree. The Republican Congresswoman, who is a vocal critic of Israel's war in Gaza, argued that she is not arguing for refugees, but for minors in Gaza to receive privately funded surgeries in the United States. Wouldn't we allow Israeli children in if they were the ones needing surgery, or war-torn children from any other country, she wrote. And the most concerning question is, when and how did America become so subservient to Israel that we immediately release a child sex predator after arrest with a 100% locked up case with evidence and let him fly back home to Israel? The acting U.S. attorney is a woman named Sigal Chattah, S-I-G-A-L-C-H-A-T-T-A-H. She is the acting U.S. attorney and special attorney to the United States Attorney General, and is currently the chief law enforcement officer for the District of Nevada. She was born in 1975 in Israel, and emigrated to the United States from Israel with her parents when she was 14 years old. The family initially settled in New York, but they all temporarily returned to Israel for a period of time before settling in Las Vegas, Nevada. Went to college here. She went to law school here. I don't believe in coincidences. I just don't. The guy who was arrested, Tom Alexandrovich, is a member of the Israeli government. He is their chief for cybersecurity. He answers directly to Benjamin Netanyahu. And I've done multiple TikToks over the last several weeks about how Israel has become a haven for child sex offenders in the United States who are Jewish and simply go to Israel where they live protected lives. We have an extradition treaty with Israel. He could be extradited here and tried here, but one of the terms of that extradition treaty is that any jail sentence imposed will be served by him in Israel if he is ever extradited back to the United States to be prosecuted by the acting U.S. attorney who was born and raised in Israel. Yeah.